Welcome back. This is the beta version of Stationeers. This is the beta for the new terrain. Oh, I'm getting some rather bad graphical glitching there. Hope that's not something that's going to continue. The new beta is basically for some new mechanics, but the biggest thing is the new terrain. It looks really good. Take a look at one of my other Stationeers videos and you'll see what the old terrain looks like. It still plays basically the same as far as I can tell so far. But there is a pretty cool effect while you're digging here. I mean, it's still voxel technology like the original, but the way the ground changes texture, the way it changes in brightness and whatnot, the deeper you go and so forth, that's a nice touch. I've already started my base. I was actually planning on starting this series with, hopping out of the lander and whatnot. I basically made a couple of mistakes during that recording and it was unusable. So, here we are. I've already got the basic base set down. I've set up a ice crusher for water. Nice little window so I can look out. I've got the regular furnace set up. To be fair, I do have one of the mods set up that I hadn't actually intended to, but I'm not going to go in and change it now. It makes the temperatures and pressures significantly easier than the game intends. I'm okay with that. The game is still fun. The game is still challenging. I'm okay with that level of... I don't want to call it cheating, but we'll just call it what it is. It's a modification. Right now, I am trying to get together enough materials to have the advanced furnace and some of the miscellaneous upgrades. Because, let me tell you, setting up solar power without the IC10 chips to automatically move the 2-axis solar panels to track the sun as it goes across, really bad. These are 3 of the basic solar panels that you start out with. They basically give you one with your starting equipment. This is not a brutal start. In fact, it's actually easy. I've played this game extensively. I probably have 1,200 hours in, and I am by no means whatsoever an expert. However, I do like a good challenge. I do like a good brain teaser. And I do like trying to fix things after I do something stupid and break them. The beta, I guess there is a way to convert your old save so that you can use it with the new. But I figured, let's just start over. And I'm kind of regretting it just a little bit. Basically, I had so much done with my primary base on the still current version of the game. But I figured, let's go ahead and just go back to the beginning. The only thing I've really done here is laid down a foundation, set up a 4x4. It's been expanded just a little bit. A 4x4 so that I had a place to escape from storms and a place to take my materials in from the lander so that they wouldn't get lost in a storm. I have set up this basic airlock, but I have to cancel the pressurization because my base doesn't have a breathable atmosphere yet. So I could sit there waiting forever for this poor active pump to actually accomplish anything. And even then, it would shoot me over across the wall like a cannon. So until I get this properly pressurized, I'll just do it that way. I finally got, because of the furnace, of course, steel. So I was able to build a small station battery. I have a little meter here saying what's coming in via solar to charge it. Those basic panels really aren't that great unless you aim them really good. That's why I have three. One pointed one direction, one pointed another, one pointed straight up. It's inefficient, but it'll work for now. Battery charger, area power controller, arc furnace. This will not stay inside. It heats up everything too much. I've got the beginning air, fuel, and water off of the lander inside. The auto lathe Mark 1, the electronics printer Mark 1, the Atmos printer 1, because you eventually need filters, pipes, whatnot. Until I get a covering down on the floor, there's going to be wires everywhere. I built some lockers in addition to the ones that come with the lander so that I could organize everything. I took the original containers that were on the lander and I broke them down. I didn't destroy them, recycle them, or let them get lost, because who knows, I might actually need them later, and it's only taking up 4 storage locations until I decide what I really want to do. I'm storing some ores here because I don't know which machine it's going to be needed in. I've just been collecting resources. Again, like I said, I'm trying to get the electronics printer mod, which basically means that next I'm looking for solder. And for solder, I need 1 iron per 1 lead to create 2 solder. Well, here's the problem. I don't have any lead yet. It's actually moderately common, at least in the original version of Stationeers, but I haven't found it yet. So I'm kind of at a minor standstill till I find lead, at least with regards to getting that printer mod, which I need for making the IC10 housings and the IC10s and the logic. And oops, I did not mean to put that there. Any of the ices will sublimate, melt when they're above 0. Fortunately, the inside of my base is currently -4 Celsius. Real comfortable, huh? And so it really didn't do anything. But I definitely don't want volatiles on the inside of my base. Bring out the torch and I'd be burning myself. Excuse me. I have the water dispenser here. Obvious reasons. It's already hooked up to the water tank and to the ice crusher so that it can refill the tank here. This is mostly temporary. This little building is just a survival shelter until I get on my feet and can start actually building something. Well, I'm hesitant to say neater because my bases are always chaotic. If you saw any of my Star Rupture videos, I highly recommend. They're in the list. There's a playlist. But if you've seen any of my Star Rupture content, I freely admit that my style is fairly chaotic. If it works, is it really broken? Here's more of that volatiles, but I don't need it right now. Pretty much the only thing I'm really looking for is lead. I probably should get the ore scanner and try and find it that way. But until you upgrade to the color scanner or the glasses that can, practically point in 3 dimensions exactly where everything is, and that's fairly late game if we're being honest. You go walking around randomly, and if you're really lucky, you find it here on the surface, and then you start digging until you find enough for what you're trying to do. Like I said, for solder, I'm looking for iron and lead. I have plenty of iron. That's not a problem. I just need a tiny little bit of lead so that I can make solder. I'm kind of at a standstill. I do apologize if this is a little boring. It's one of the reasons why people use mods and whatnot on Stationeers. It's to take some of the more mundane aspects of the game and make them a little bit more palatable. For maximum challenge, of course, you want to leave everything alone and just do it the hard way, because later in the game you have deep miners, you have rockets that can go mining for you. And I'll admit, the accomplishment, the feeling of accomplishment is so much better when you've earned every little tiny bit of it. But right this very second, I'm here to have a little bit of fun. And so I'm okay with the mining being a little bit easier, the furnace being a little bit easier, so forth and so on. I don't consider it cheating. This is survival mode. This is not creative. I'm not spawning anything into existence. I do have a mod that is loaded for printing miscellaneous ores. That is cheating. I don't plan on using it. I could disable it, but honestly, I just plan on not using it, so fair enough. As you can see, the holes look fairly interesting once you start digging. This is all copper again. I'm going to end up having to get the ore scanner just to try and find something that's not on the surface and find that lead. But I thought I would give a quick little walk around here in the beta. The graphics are, as always, quite pretty. I'm getting in excess of 120, 130 FPS at 1080. I have most of the settings cranked up. I'm currently playing on a laptop with a 3070 Ti mobile on a 12900H. The big thing right now is make sure that you have enough VRAM. The video card situation right now is actual mess. There's just not a good price on a good video card, and then they'll put out a cut down version with 6 gig or only 8 gig. 8 gig used to be enough. If you're going out and buying a brand new video card, I would most assuredly suggest you get the 16 gig version. I am partial to NVIDIA, but NVIDIA is kind of expensive right now. Not to mention all those lovely melty power connectors. Always fun. I have not been so unlucky yet, but then again, I don't own a 5000 series card yet. My desktop is running a 3060 by EVGA. It obviously has no problems. This is a 3070 Ti mobile, which essentially makes it a 3060 also. I'm just wandering around here in the dark, probably boring you to death, I'm sorry, looking for some lead. I'm going to end up having to try and find it with an ore scanner or something, because I really, really, really need that lead. What's this? This is silicon, isn't it? That's silicon. Lead should be kind of a dark, almost like the charcoal, almost like the coal. It shouldn't be this hard to find, but it is, apparently. I mean, that's coal. Yep, that's coal. Fine, I'll take it while I can get it, because on this particular seed, this particular launch of the game, I've actually had a little trouble finding coal, so I guess I'll just take it while I can. I would come out here with the mining backpack, build the tool manufacturing, get the larger mining backpack, but surprise, surprise, you end up losing your jetpack when you use the mining backpack, and well, it can get you out of trouble when you make a deep enough hole. I do think with the new terrain, they've actually made it just a little bit easier to dig yourself out with the mining tool. Maybe it's just my experience this particular game, but I haven't really gotten stuck to the point to where I had to use the jetpack. But maybe I've just been lucky. That looks really nice how it changes the strata levels and color wise in the new terrain. Anyway, here we are in the dark. Where the heck did I put my base? So we'll bring the tablet down. One of the other things that they did do in the new beta is there's always a tracking beacon on the initial lander. So it's 141 meters that direction. So in previous playthroughs of the game, I would pretty much get the lander out of the way. I mean, once you've got your materials off of it, what actual good is it? That's going to be iron. Yep, that was iron. What good is it other than just being in the way? Well, they gave the lander purpose after, you take all the stuff off of it. It now has a beacon. That is especially useful early on in the game. You get the tracking cartridge for the tablet. Where is that pop-up coming from? There we go. You get the tracker cartridge, you get the network analyzer, and you get the atmospheric analyzer in your starting kit, at least on this difficulty level. So, as long as you've got the tablet with a battery and you haven't destroyed the lander, there are no longer excuses for getting lost. And when I first started playing this game, several years ago actually, when I first started playing this game, that was always the worst part, was going far enough away to find your resources, and you can't find your way back to your base. You run out of oxygen, you run out of water, you're hungry, you starve to death, get caught in a storm, and now what? You're dead. It took a lot of the fun out of it. And yes, you do have the tracking beacon, which you can set right up here and put a battery in. Be sure to turn it on. And you'll get the lander as 11 that way. Use the mouse button and change to the tracker. Oh, what do you know? It's 1 meter in front of me. But the problem with this portable little tracker, it was a wonderful thing to have. But if you forget to turn it on or the battery's dead, you're SOL. Sorry. So it's really nice that at least as long as the lander survives the storms, you always have a beacon back to your base. If you are worried, you can build a wired tracker, wire it to your base. As long as your base has power, you'll have a way home. But in the short term, I think it was a good move on their part to include the lander having a beacon in it. It makes sense after all anyway. I want up to the furnace, and we're going to convert some of this to ingots so that they take up less space. And then I can go back out and torture myself and you wonderful people looking for lead. In honesty, if I have too much trouble finding it, I might actually just end the video, go find it, and then start a different video, because if we're being totally honest, this is not terribly engaging, having me walk around like a lost person in the desert looking for one specific thing. But it is kind of the reality of how things work. And this is one of my favorite games, if we're being totally honest. It's the science nerd meets Minecraft meets Legos. It's entertaining, at least to me. And the game is obviously popular enough that they're still updating it. They're still adding new features like this new terrain. If you like science, it's a very fun game. If you kind of like science, I left my miner in there on the shelf. I hate it when I do that. At least I remembered it before I got all the way out there. As my mother used to say, it's the last place you left it, the last place you had it. Well, if I knew the last place I left it, I wouldn't be looking for it. I was one of those ornery kids when I was growing up. I would keep looking for something after I already found it, just to prove her wrong. It wasn't the last place I looked. I kept looking. Yeah, well, you're an idiot. But nevertheless, semantics. It usually is the last place you look because once you find it, you stop looking. This is all iron. Wonderful. This is sparkly. This might be gold. Yep, that's gold. It's close enough to base that I'm going to leave it until I actually need it. This is iron. Can't really see all that terribly much from up here. It is a nice view. And this is oxide. Finding all this oxide, I'm going to need it for the furnace and for starting up the atmosphere in my base. But that's getting a little bit ahead of myself right now. I really, really, really want solder so that I can get the printer mod. This is nickel. It's rare enough that I'll take it while I can find it. Nickel is good in constant, in-bar, a couple of things. It's almost as bad as right now for me, the lead. When you need it and don't have it, where is it? So that's that. But I'll take it while I can get it. We'll just sort of dig here in kind of an outward circle because the ores tend to be in veins. And oh, my inventory's full. Lovely. So we'll take one of the full ones and put it there. And then we can at least grab at least a little bit more. Once you've mined something and it's just laying there like that, it will despawn on you. So it's not wise to waste, especially when you're looking for something that's hard to find. I should have dropped those ingots back at the base after I smelted them, because I have two inventory slots going to waste right now. I did mention that I enjoy the game, but I'm by no means an expert. So, where is my base? It is, wow, all the way over there. Okay. You do want to keep an eye on your battery. It's currently 34. Oxygen is getting lower. The waste tank is about middle. We can take care of that right now. Go ahead and vent that. My 3 filters are all for carbon dioxide. First, they use them from left to right, so I am in no danger whatsoever on the filters right now. That's cool. I was really hoping to just accidentally come across it. That would be just awesome right now. But I am not that lucky. And apparently neither are you guys, because you get to watch me schlep myself across the desert looking for lead, because that's what I need. Like I said, there's a real good chance that I'll go ahead and stop this video. At least I'm honest. I don't want to bore you on purpose. If I warn you something's boring, it's going to be boring. But hopefully some of you will still find interest in it. This is one of my favorite games. I don't want to put words in their mouth, but there's a real good chance that they'll have a sale when the new terrain comes out. It's well worth supporting. I believe it sells for right around 30. I'm pretty sure that several years ago I bought it on sale, But it is a very fun game, and I enjoy it. Well, this is time to just go ahead and be a slob. Just drop it anywhere. And I'm not going to worry about the lead. I'm not going to worry about the nickel right now. Go ahead and dump the coal out. Go ahead and dump the coal out. It's safe. I can't do that with the ices, like I said. They'll melt. I'm going to give it one last college try finding that lead. And then I'm going to go ahead and end this video because there's so few of you right now. I don't want to alienate all of you with straight boredom. Let's see. That's bluish. That might be cobalt. That might be cobalt or nitrous. Yeah, I think that's nitrous. Nope, that's cobalt. And I really don't need cobalt at all right now. So, yeah, we're leaving that for right now. It's close to base. Unless it's totally dark out, I can find it when I do need it. Cobalt is used in the advanced furnace for some of the more fancy things. Copper. Copper is valuable for me, but I don't need it right now. What do we got here? That's oxide. This is silicon. I'll take a little bit of that while I'm here. And occasionally when you dig down, you'll find alternate veins just a little bit deeper. They weren't visible from the surface, so stopping to get a little bit of silicon isn't going to kill me. One thing that I think they did change, possibly for the worse, in the beta, it gets dark really quick. It was daylight when I started that mining, and it's pitch black now. That's not necessarily a good thing. Okay, we want to keep going away from the base at least a little bit. What we got here? That's more copper. That's copper. See, the problem with the standard ore finder, I haven't used one in a long time. In my primary game under the main version, I actually have the chip thing for the eyeglasses where I can see in three-dimensional where everything is. But to be totally honest, I also have the deep miners that just bring up all kinds of dirty ore, and I send it through the centrifuge, and I have more ore than I know what to do with. So I have huge silos where it's all sorted into, and I've become an ore hoarder. Although I have made some good money working with the traders, selling ore, so forth and so on. So that's part of the game. It's fun. But like I said, I just decided to start fresh with the beta and the new terrain. I was kind of scared to come over to the beta because of the incompatible saves. I didn't want to lose all that work. Well, turns out you're gonna. That's what are you? That was coal. That figures. I really, for all of our sakes, wish I could find some lead. Too bad there's not a jewelry store with made in China jewelry. I'm sure I could find plenty of lead. That's a whole different joke. Just for the record, guys, I try my best not to be political. I do have views, but this is a game. But have you seen some of the really bad knockoff products? They're silver plated, they're gold plated, they're plated, and they're nothing but cheap metals underneath. I mean, what do you expect? But It's just what it makes me think of while I'm out here looking for lead out here in the nowhere. And I, for the life of me, can't find it. That's going to be iron. Yep, that's iron. I may have to break down and use the ore scanner. That's kind of a bummer. I mean, usually I can just find it. I mean, I've started multiple games over the years. You know, different settings. The moon, the Mars. Mars is my favorite, by the way. It's it's listed as intermediate, but in truth, I always found Mars to be easier than starting on the moon. Just personal observation type of thing. I don't know exactly how they've rebalanced things in the newer version here. But either way, I started off at difficulty level easy. So, how bad could it be? Throw in the fact that I've got some mods in that are technically minor cheats, you know, making the furnace easier, so forth. So, I have attempted brutal starts, and I have failed relatively miserably. That's coal again. That figures. I was hoping to get lucky here on this little mountaintop. I really only need such a tiny amount. I mean, just enough to build that mod. I mean, I'll need more later, duh. But I just need a tiny little amount for right now. Why? And you know, not to mix genres, but again, shameless plug for my own video, the Star Rupture movie, the Star Rupture videos that I did. More nickel. Damn. They have you look for items of technology before they allow you to manufacture them. And some of them are really, really hard to find. I guess what's triggering that memory is the fact that I'm literally looking like a hopeless idiot looking for lead right now. But anyway, over in Star Rupture, they have you looking for pieces of technology before you can manufacture it. And they're somewhat rare, and if you die on the way back, it's gold. You know what? Gold is rare enough that I'll take it. If I dig deep enough, I might even find something other than gold. But anyway, if you die on the way back to your base in Star Rupture after finding this rare piece of technology, you know, all of your other inventory is left where your body lies, and you can go retrieve it. That's sometimes easier said than done, you know, because you start off with low hydration, low hydration, low food, bad health. You know, congratulations, you're alive. You're going to die again really damn soon. But at least you have the opportunity to go back and pick your inventory back up. Always a good thing. But that rare item that you just spent who knows how long trying to find gets deleted when you die. Now, that was a play test, and I gave my feedback on the bugs. I gotta pay attention to I have to pay attention to my battery here for just a second. I'm down to 10%, and that runs my air conditioning and my filters and everything else. So, and of course I've got my light on too because, well, I'm out looking around. So it's eating up battery like it shouldn't, but that's fine. I have lots of spare batteries in the tools I carry, and I should have changed battery when I was dumping off all that excess stuff in my base, but I was too busy blabbing. Mistakes were made, as they like to say. More iron. I'm going to laugh my butt off if I just find something by digging randomly. They may have made lead harder to find in this incarnation of the game. I mean, it's by means not impossible to find. You know, not that I've found it yet. But, yeah, I'm coming up blank right here. And this is a situation where I actually made things steep enough that I have to kind of ramp myself out. Which way is my base? That way. So, let's go this way. There's the iron that I don't really need. Where, oh, where did they hide my lead? Any other time, I swear, any other time I'd be finding it when I don't want it, don't need it. You know, like this. The oxide and the ice and stuff like that are all very useful once you start getting a base, you know, properly livable. It's all over the place right now. Don't need it right now. That's coal, silicon, iron. More silicon. That looks like it could be gold. If only real gold were this easy to find, right? So, which way is the base? Fair distance that way. Let's jog over just a little bit this direction. Hopefully it'll be daylight soon. I think I dug a pretty deep hole right there. See how fast it changes from night to day? That's a change from the previous terrain map, from the previous mainline version of the game. What have we here? That's copper. Just need some lead. That's iron. That's oxide. I wasn't 100% sure with it still being semi-dark. This greenish should be nitrix. Yep, nitrous. I wouldn't mind finding a little bit more silver because I'm going to need it soon too, but it's actually rare. For as much gold as I'm finding, which is supposedly somewhat rare in the game, I mean not super rare, but somewhat rare, you'd think I'd have found lead by now. Just statistically speaking, even a blind squirrel gets a nut once in a while. That's going to be coal. Yep, that's coal. It's here somewhere, but I'm probably going to go ahead and end this this recording, because the last thing I want to do is spend 2 hours looking for one ore and bore you to the point to where you never ever come back. I do promise it does get more interesting than this. I promise it does. Excuse me. But looking for an individual item like this when it's all you need is the road to frustration. That's coal, iron, more gold. Everything but what I need. You can see my base there kind of on the horizon. What's this hodgepodge here? Iron, 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 iron. Yeah, iron. Wow. Had a major little hiccup there on my computer. I wonder what's going on. This game typically runs really, really well on my equipment, but this is a beta version. This is the new, that's going to be Cobalt. Yeah, of course it is. It was blue. No Smurf rock required right now. I'm just edging closer to my base, which will be pretty much where I cut this. I hate to be repetitive, but I don't want to bore you to tears. If I haven't already, then thank you. If I have, I apologize. There will be plenty more Stationeers content because I actually really, really, really like this game. I'm not loving it this very second as far as the pausing and hitching that I'm getting right now, and the fact that I can't find lead. So help me, if I find it this close to my base, I'll both be overjoyed and kind of pissed at myself. But yeah, I'm gonna head inside and dump off all this stuff, smelt some of it up, maybe do a little bit more touch up on the base, and then without recording, without sharing, I'm going to go out and find that damn lead. I don't want to cheat. I could just use the mod I have on the printer and print some solder. I could. Or print the lead. I could. But I'm not trying to cheat. I'm trying to show you how this game actually does play. And, well, this was a fishing expedition, and I came back with an empty chest. Till next time, be safe.